Hello, my name is Patrick Glass. Many of you have just experienced a traumatic event such as a hurricane, a wildfire, an earthquake, or tornado, a flood, or even an active shooter incident. Many of you may be wondering why this happened to you or what am I going to do now? Some of you may be experiencing feelings of guilt, frustration, anger, or sadness. These are all natural, normal feelings and reactions to an abnormal situation. You should not try to avoid them. Some of these feelings may transform into a condition known as post-traumatic stress disorder, otherwise known as PTSD. If you have had PTSD in the past from a previous experience, then the signs and symptoms may be magnified or compounded based off of this current experience. Children are very susceptible to experiencing PTSD. Younger children or children under the age of 12 are especially susceptible. Over the next few minutes, Akash Kayla, James Oliver, and I are going to discuss the signs and symptoms of PTSD and what resources are available to you if you feel that you might be experiencing PTSD.
My name is James Oliver, and I will be discussing some of the common symptoms and effects of PTSD. PTSD is classified as an anxiety disorder and can be experienced after living through a traumatic event. It is natural to feel some effects of stress after a traumatic event, but PTSD symptoms get worse and don't recover over time. The nervous system gets stuck and fails to recover its equilibrium. PTSD ultimately changes the brain's patterns and alters its functions. PTSD is a real diagnosis, and when going unchecked, can cause many long-term problems in its victims. Symptoms of PTSD fall under three general categories, which include re-experiencing symptoms, avoidance symptoms, and hyperarousal symptoms. Re-experiencing symptoms include flashbacks, where the person relives a trauma over and over through bad dreams and frightening thoughts. This can cause discourse and problems through a person's common routine. Avoidance symptoms involve the person staying away from places, events, or objects that are reminders of the experience. They may feel emotionally numb or full of strong guilt or depression. They may have lost interest in activities that were previously enjoyable. Hyperarousal symptoms include being easily startled, feeling tense or on edge, and the symptoms are usually constant. To be diagnosed with PTSD, a person must have, for roughly 1 month, experienced at least one re-experiencing symptom, at least 3 avoidance symptoms, and at least 2 hyperarousal symptoms. A diagnosis is done by a medical professional, but there are resources to help determine if a diagnosis needs to be done, such as the Ptsd, a self-reporting scale for PTSD. It is important to learn the warning signs of PTSD to be able to recognize it in others. In many cases, the person may not realize they have PTSD. Children specifically have this problem, and it may be up to you to get them help.
Hi, my name is Akash Kayla, and I'll be talking about the treatments and institutes available in Indiana for people who are going through PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. There are many institutes around Indiana that provide their services for those who are suffering from PTSD. Some of them are the Clear Mind Institute of Indiana, Crossroad, and the Resolute Treatment Facility. There are many more that provide similar services like these. There are also other private and government organizations that provide information online on what the disorder is, how to treat it, and etc. Here are a few of these organizations: Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, or SAMHSA, Brainline, WebMD Health Services, and the National Alliance on Mental Illness. There are a few treatments available for PTSD also. These treatments are sertraline and paroxetine pills. Both of these medications are approved by the Food and Drug Administration and are prescribed by doctors. The other treatment that exists is virtual reality exposure therapy. The goal of this type of therapy is getting the patient to relive their traumatic experience in order to help them process the negative feelings associated with it. So we have just talked about what PTSD is, the symptoms of the disorder, and where you can go to find help. We hope this video has been very informative and helpful for you. Thank you for watching our video.